It's such a good morning to see you, Jeff. I can't wait to see you in just literally 10 days from now.
Well, 10 days from now, but we'll be there a week from now too.
Oh my gosh, 7 days then. We are literally, guys, on the cusp of the first unconference from VCon. I can't wait, Jeff, for everyone to hear what you've come up with, what you've curated.
Well, so March, the week of March 23rd, which is a week from right now. Today is March 16th, 2026. So a week from now, we'll be in Frisco, Texas. I'll call it Dallas. And we're hosting Spring 26 Voice and Conversations on the Net. And we're kicking off the week with three co-located activities. We're having well, the big thing for me is an unconference. I don't know how many of you people tuning in are familiar with the idea of an unconference. I've been hosting, attending, curating, speaking at unconferences for over 20 years. But an unconference is really a conference that's not a conference. It's an opportunity for people to get together and to exchange ideas. And the key thing about an unconference is participation. Not everybody is expected to come to the front of the room to share an idea, but if you're in the room, you are expected to share your voice. It's all about bottom-up community. The unconference we're talking about here is about VCons. And so from a contextual perspective, we're looking at the evolution of a new industry, the AI communication space. We're all about, of course, the emerging IETF standard of virtualized conversations, those VCons. At a meta level, it's really about voice and conversations on the net. And so all the people who are speaking at our event on March 24th and 25th have been invited to participate in the unconference on March 23rd. Typically at an unconference, you would speak for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no more than 30 minutes. If it's 30 minutes, it's probably more than one person speaking. Mm-hmm. And it could be on a range of topics dealing with really anything in the domain, anything going from public policy, the effects of AI on conversations, to what a VCon is, to your own ideas, to if you want to be a VCon developer, what type of dev tools are out there, what type of projects are out there, how to get involved. And so the VCon Unconference for me is a chance for the people who are attending the event to get to know each other in a more social environment and to socialize ideas which maybe I as a curator missed during the conference prep. So it's a chance as a catch-all to listen to what's happening and to give people a voice, to be seen, to be heard. That said, it's also a chance to just explore new ideas and push the boundaries on not where we're at, but maybe where we're going. And so it's invitation only. So by the way, this is your invitation to ask to attend. If you're seeing this video right now, we still have a little bit of room available. So it's a ticket for you to participate. Now, after the unconference, or really during the unconference, but I'll just say after, just for flow purposes, the hackathon is taking place. Now, the VCon hackathon is not your typical weekend hackathon. It's not a hackathon for 24 hours, 48 hours. No. This is going to go 6 months. This is an opportunity for you, no matter where you are in the world, to join us in our quest to come up with next generation applications, services, ideas, companies, projects are based around the idea of voice and conversations on the net, a world where AI is pervasive, a world where there are going to be voice APIs, network APIs, all sorts of APIs, and also VCons sitting there. And what we're looking for is global collaboration, the opportunity for people, no matter where you are in the world, if you're connected to the internet, you're invited to participate in the hackathon. The VCon Foundation is providing mentors. And once you register for the hackathon, you whether it's one person or a team, we can set up monthly meetings for coaching. There'll be availability to answer questions to help get you started. And from a curation perspective, the hackathon will go on about 6 months. And then in the weeks leading up to our fall event in Atlanta, those teams who can travel to Atlanta will be looking at projects, and we'll be inviting some of you to come and showcase what you created. So this is a chance for a true innovation at the edge. And the VCon, so this is going to be, and it's hosted by the VCon Foundation. So that's kicking off on March 23rd. And this all came out of the fact that I realized that, if you're new to the VCon ecosystem, you probably not familiar with developer tools. So this is a shout out to Dan Petrie, who suggested that he give a opening talk at the hackathon about developer tools. And when I processed what Dan was saying, I realized, yeah, you know what, this really be an unconference. So I'm kicking off the morning of March 23rd as a young conference, and it will go as long as there are people who want to talk about things. And the hackathon will kick off in parallel. Also, my friend Joe Mazio is also giving a talk after lunch about embracing AI in business. And it's really for all those people who are secretly, very, very familiar with AI, but have not yet really deployed it, even though they know it's happening. So Joe is incredibly insightful and has given this talk to many large organizations, which are on the fence of should I not? And they really will need to engage. It's just how do they engage? So that's the 23rd. And I'm really excited about the unconference because it's looking to me to be a wonderful chance to catch up and to explore what's happening. And when you curate conferences, it's difficult to capture every topic you want to. I mean, it was just last week that Salesforce announced their agentic, their basically their CPaaS, their CCaaS play,
Right.
with their agentic AI CCaaS play. That was at Enterprise Connect. So unless I have a really good crystal ball curating a conference, I would not necessarily know that was going to happen then. So it'd be kind of nice if, by the way, hi Salesforce, if you happen to be in the Dallas area and you want to talk about your thoughts about agentic AI and how it works and how it's going to affect the future of communications, yeah, you're invited. Ping me. The point is, we have a chance to be as flexible as one can be in curating content, and more importantly, answering the questions that people have. And that's really the key part about any event is community development. And we're all starting at ground zero, our own ground zero. It doesn't matter whether you've been a developer for 30 years or 2 days. It doesn't matter if you know what a VCon is or isn't. Because for me, the meta, at the meta level, it is all about voice and conversations on the net. And I started the Voice on the Net events 29 years ago. And this and going from VON to VCon for me is a natural organic progression, because we're going from just delivering voice on the net to holding on to that voice, but also going to the conversational part, which to me is that key element that now, all these years into this evolution, we're now able to create core assets known as conversations, able to use AI to connect those dots. And when you look at it from a technical perspective, being able to chain together conversational elements of VCons themselves, whether you and I are talking via text or email, whether we're talking on a video, whether it's a tape or a recording of a conversation we just had, being able to bring together all those pieces and then derive value from that. And then, by the way, validate, verify, yes, it was you and I who spoke. And by the way, yes, I gave you permission for this particular purpose to use analytics about this, but no, you don't have permission to use this to train your AI models. Like all the ability for consent, to withdraw consent, to manage consent, that comes into the compliance side of VCons. So yeah, it's a lot to cover in a really at an unconference, but it's the start. The one thing which I'm really excited about also in the actual conference on Tuesday, after our morning speaks, in between, nobody necessarily wants to be in that white space between the person speaking and lunch.
Yes.
But what I did is I'm inviting all of the people who happen to be there at that moment who are hosting breakout sessions to come in front of the room and pitch their breakout session. Why? Because we're going to have 2 and 3 breakout sessions happening at the same time during the conference from Tuesday afternoon. And then, Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning, we have breakout sessions. And how often is it you go to an event and you have no idea what to sit in on? Well, at Spring 26 Voice and Conversations on the Net, we're breaking the mold. Everybody will have a chance to get to the front of the room to pitch their session. So, and if nothing else, it makes for a really good lunch conversation, so that if you're trying to figure out who to have lunch with, you might want to find the people who are speaking, and then you connect those dots. So it's going to be a fun, community-driven event, kicking off with the unconference on Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, the core content, and on Thursday we're having we're kicking off Thursday with 2 things. It's a closed meeting for members only of the VCon Foundation, followed by an open meeting for everybody who wants to get involved with the VCon Foundation, and that's on Thursday. So it's going to be should be a very productive time in Dallas. A chance to see who's coming out with what, when, and where. In the past week, I've already discovered another 5, maybe 6 companies that are doing VCons, and after being at Enterprise Connect, another 20 companies or so who should be doing VCons. It's just a matter of getting to the right product people and the right technical people. But there was not a person I spoke to at Enterprise Connect who objected to the need for VCons, even in their own products. And they weren't being defensive, they just didn't know. And so that was fun. So yeah, so it's all so yeah. Next week for me, it's all about the VCon.
Oh, and as we continue to build the VCon community and the foundation, many of you are asking yourselves how to get involved. Many of you are solopreneurs, some of you are just teams, some of you are enterprise clients that need to get your word out there. You need to be around these communities. And that's why the hackathon is critical, because this is a collaborative community. There's no competition. This is more of, hey, this is what's working for us. These are the things that have been, built. And so, Jeff, you're really curating a community of collaborators.
Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, people will compete for customers eventually. In fact, I'm sure right now people would love to have more customers. There's no doubt about that type of competition. But when you're working in an emerging industry, the first thing you want to have is operability, followed by interoperability. And one of the core mandates of the VCon Foundation is education. So we're looking to go out to different communities and bring people together to make sure that they're well aware of what is happening in the emerging world of the virtualized conversation. And yes, you will find people at this stage of the industry being very collaborative, open, that if you have developer questions, we have developer answers. The VCon Foundation is going to be providing a set of tools for its members to help better, answer questions about people have technical questions. We'll get technical answers. We're going to be, volunteering some of our members to help coach the hackathon team members so that we can people can, not waste time, but be productive. There are a bunch and growing number of open source projects already brewing around VCons. And that's our starting point. There are core like GitHub for the conserver.io. That happens to be one of the spots which I point to. Dan Petrie has a wonderful project that he's working on, and that'll be another starting point for people to start working from. And my hope is a year from now is that when we go to industry events, we're able to demonstrate, 20 companies who technically compete with each other, all working together, collaborating, showcasing how a VCon is generated in this application and value is created in that application, then derived solutions running from that application. So they're all working off the same basket of VCons. And that's the nice part, is that in a world of open standards and interoperability, different companies can build value across the ecosystem. And so it's just really, this is a chance to get involved in a marketplace, which, 10 years from now, maybe it's worth $1 trillion. I mean, the way inflation could go, you never know, but it's really worth something. And, don't quote me on this necessarily, but I do believe that the impact of VCons in this ecosystem will help redefine what communication really is all about. And that, if for 20 something years we've been talking about having a conversation going from point A to point B, and that's what Voice on the Net was all about. Conversations on the net does take that part for granted. Now, I'll just mention something which I still refer to today as a core value point, is that if you're running any type of AI solutions and offering it to customers, you do need the highest quality. HD voice to me is a no-brainer. You need to have it, right? Because if you're offering AI services to customers, your AI performs much better when the underlying voice is HD. And that was a sort of education for some people who were at the show. I have to say that, I said, well, because I was referring to, if you're not using HD voice, it's sort of like using AM radio quality and expecting your AI to work. And then, of course, when one kid asked me, what's AM radio? I said, oh, no. So I had to say, well, FM radio, like you have like and I realized I'm dealing with a Spotify generation that just does not listen to radio in their cars. It's okay. But the point is, if you have the highest fidelity possible, there's a higher opportunity chance that your AI will work better. So I'm excited. It's what is old is new again. And I think the biggest bottom line reality is voice is back.
Yes.
The whole AI revolution of the whole AI voice thing has made voice cool again. And it's like, hey, why not? Voice has always been cool. Voice has been the killer app, will continue to be the killer app. You may call it different things, but being able to hear someone's voice, to be able to hear that emotional and it's the voice that's spoken and the unspoken. And it's all that emotion, it's all the metadata, it's everything. And verbal communication is kind of key. And sometimes it's not what you say, but the way you say it. And voice is back. Just saying.
So Jeff, here we have the link for signing up for Dallas. Do they need to know anything like a code? Do they need to know anything about, the sign up process? Because I know we are busy getting people signed up, and a lot of our speakers, and just making sure everything is going to go without a hitch. What do they need to know as they sign up?
That we are grateful for every registration that we get. And
Yes.
when you're looking at the schedule, if you'd like to be part of the unconference, message me on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way to secure your invitation to the unconference. And by the way, if you are a developer and you're interested in our hackathon, you're invited to that. And we do have actually free access for developers. If you want to join the hackathon, that you can message me for too. And that's all there. But in terms of the registration process, we're grateful for the people who are registering. Well, I can tell you that our speaker community represents folks from North America and Europe. And this is the beginning of something which will grow into something pretty big.
Wonderful. Thanks again. And everybody, yes, reach out to us and connect us. If you have questions, we do have a special rate for hotel stays from our Hilton partnership. We also have certain sponsors that are going to be attending that you'll want to connect with and network with. And so again, reach out to us to ask questions. And of course, here's a link provided so that you can register today for the Dallas Unconference of VCon. Thanks again, Jeff.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, can't wait to see you.